Private sector booming, adding 263,000 jobs last month, much better than the expected gain of 180,000, according to a new report.
Some of the biggest gains were in construction and manufacturing, which added a reported 82,000 jobs. So is this proof that President Trump's slashing of regulations is really working?
Here to discuss, Fox News legal analyst and the host of Property Man you'll see next week on Fox Business, Bob Massi. Good morning to you, Bob.
Good morning.
Hey, Steve. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Ainsley.
So during the president's young presidency, he's already added 750,000 jobs. What's going on?
Yep. Well, you know what? I think, Steve, why we see all the politicians sort of in the sandbox fighting each other, what's happened is there is a sense from businesses that they have a chance to grow again. You know, I've been in Vegas a long time. I represent a lot of small, medium, and large businesses, and they really have a sense that they're empowered finally, that these deregulations, the other day, I'm sure you saw where the president had that board and listed out all the different permits that people have to get in order to get started. It takes years. There's a sense now that the shackles are off and they could grow, which means employment, which means jobs, which means money, which means a spirited America, and I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, we saw that scroll. Remember, he rolled out that scroll. It was a long list of all the regulations you have to go through. Some of these companies were waiting 10 years to get contracts, and then some of them went out of business by the time the government finally said, yes, you can do that. So he says he's going to cut out all of that, and that's going to help, obviously, construction, manufacturing, as we were saying. Most of these job gains came from small businesses. What does that mean to the average American, Bob?
You know what? I'm a small business person. So what I look at is to say, well, if certain things are going to happen in taxes, Ainsley, which we hope it's going to happen, and I believe it will, it changes the attitude. It allows me, if I save a certain amount in taxes, to bring on other people to work. Same thing with other businesses throughout the country. There is, even in spite of all the things you guys have been covering with the surveillance issues, which is very important, the American business people, they're moving forward. They're not going to get caught up in that. It's not that there's not a concern, but they're saying, look, I feel energized. I feel there's a better attitude. I feel there's somebody there that understands growth, understands the needs for business. And attitude is huge when it comes to growing business. And that's what's happening. It's happening back in Vegas, in Florida, different parts of the country. Let me tell you, it's a good feeling.
You know, in another part of the country from where you're at right now, in North Carolina, Abby Huntsman was there, and she was just about an hour ago talking to some of the diners having breakfast. And they said that they felt like Donald Trump, who is now our president, President Donald Trump, is doing a good job, but the rest of Washington is, you know, they're just not helping.
You know what, Steve, listen, look, there's a learning curve. And the other thing, when you compare the two presidencies, you have President Obama, who was pretty easygoing guy, you know, pacifist, you know, community leader concept, and then you have a guy like Trump coming in. There's a big comparison. As a result, there's a caustic side that say, I don't like the guy, I don't think he's good for the country. He's only been there a few months. He's done a lot of good things. Look what he did for the coal miners. Bottom line is, if you give the guy a chance, like anybody else has been given, I think in the long run he's going to be great for the country. But the caustic attitude is really, really hurting. But let me tell you, American business people, they're moving on. They're saying, this guy's for us. We're going to grow our businesses. And they're not afraid anymore. They don't feel like they're bogged down anymore. They feel like they could grow again. And that's important for attitude in this country.
All right. Thank you, Bob Massi.